Hey, what's going on? It's DabsWithJiraiya here. I'm recording this kind of late at night, so I'm going to be a little bit more quiet, on the quiet side, but I figured I would get this video at least started, or somewhat finished. And it's just a simple knowledge video of what you should know on Friday the 13th. Like, for counselors and for Jasons, it'll make you a better player overall. Cool little clip. And we'll start off with some tips. If the power is out, always look for the power box. It's usually somewhere around where the power is out, of course. And then all you gotta do is complete this little mini game. And hopefully don't mess up as much as I do. And then once you've completed it, the power will come back on, all street lamps and Tommy's radios, stuff like that. Moving on to your perks. Each perk affects your counselor in different ways. Like if you have a counselor with good speed but poop stealth, you might put on a better stealth. But if you have a counselor with no stamina but good repair, you might put on a stamina perk. Or if you like starting with a map, you'll have the map perk. Whereas perks affect how we play the game, and you should use them to your advantage. There's medic perks that let you heal more and thickness to take more damage. It's all up to you. And then counselors each have their own different strengths and weaknesses, as you can see. I prefer Fox, but to each their own. Moving on to hiding spaces, which are useful for reducing fear and just not allowing Jason to sense you inside a house. As long as you're hiding and he doesn't have rage, he doesn't know that you're there. Unless he can hear you breathing, of course. So make sure that you've regained your stamina before you hide. That will make sure that doesn't happen. Now, moving on to pocket knives, a very valuable tool that you should always prioritize. Because if Jason ever does try to grab you, and he does successfully do it, these are your get out of jail free card. They allow you to escape from his grasp and just keep going. But always remember to loot houses fully. You never know what else they might have in them. As you can see, if you find keys, that's basically a free ticket out of here because you're the one that starts the car. But say you end up in a situation where you got the fuse, which I'll get to later, the keys, and another pocket knife. It might be more beneficial to look for players on your minimap and hope that they're a Deborah or a Choppa or someone with good repair that can do something with it. Hopefully it works out for them, it works out for you. But like I said earlier, always prioritize pocket knives because they are your get out of jail freebies. As you can see, I go back for it here. These also can disable traps and keep you going. Like they have a high utility. To use traps with them, you just crouch and hold the prompt. Now moving on to bear traps. You can use them in the door, in the front of the door, they're more effective placing them, but behind is just as well, as long as it's directly in the middle. If it's not directly in the middle, Jason can walk around it. But if it's outside, he has to walk into it. So you found a battery, and you want to get out of here in the car, huh? Well, as long as you know right where that car is, book it right back to that car at 110 miles per hour. Get that thing going. As soon as you get there. Don't even break pace, just boom. Start the minigame. Once you've completed the minigame, you're going to want to find yourself some gas. And as long as you got them keys, or if someone's already started the car, and you can get in and start it back up, you're good. As you will see, Jason came here because he heard me mess up. Now as a counselor, you gotta watch out for Jason all the time. And here I just had to evade him for a few minutes, so I skipped it. Ah, the gas. Like I said, once you see it on the map, book it. And always loot. Always finish looting, because you never know what you'll find. I'll get to the fuse box in just a few moments. Sometimes the parts can be hard to find, but generally if you know where a car is or the boat is, the propeller slash gas, battery, whatever, keys, is going to be relatively close to that vehicle. And there's going to be a set for each relatively close to it. So if you find one by the 4-seater, bring it to the 4-seater. But as I was saying, since this car was started and I didn't have keys, I just had to restart it and follow the trail. But also, if Jason's right in front of you as you're going, don't go right into him. He stops the car doing that. But he can also stop it if he goes behind you, so pay attention to where he is shifting. Make sure that your car is full and don't run people over. That will lose 1,000 XP per person you run over. I mean, unless you just don't care and you're level 150 and you're like trolling, then uninstall. But yeah, as long as you follow these trails out of here, you'll be just fine. And have a decent knowledge of your exits. You're going to need a decent knowledge of your exits. Like, if you have a map, look at your map before you get in the car. And know where you gotta go. Generally, it's always going to be towards the south where you're going to have to exit. So, use your compass on your mini-map. If you don't have it, there's a perk that allows you to keep your mini-map when your fear is too high. And fear is a factor that allows Jason to sense you, your stumble chance. It affects a lot of the stuff as a counselor in Jason. Make sure your car is always full and back out in style. Because that's what good counselors do. They make sure their car is full. Alright, moving on. Always fortify your doors. That gives you a little bit of XP. Boom. You found yourself a fuse. Now you gotta get yourself to the fuse box that looks like this. It has a little indicator with the icon that's in your inventory. You just put it in. Don't mess up or Jason will know you're there. Go in, look for the little green phone on the wall, and hit the prompt. Hold the prompt until it's done, and the cops will be on their way. There's a perk that allows them to come within, pause, 3:45. Wait the timeout. I generally wait until about 10 seconds before I start heading to the road. And then keep your map open to pay attention to where they are, on which end. As long as you got a gun and a pocket knife like I do in this, it should be pretty easy. But if you don't, just do your best to play in the houses. However, if you do have this much resources, wait at the exit for other people. Try to help them escape like this. Even though this is Tommy's role. That's what he should do. But make sure that you help everyone escape. And if you can be the last one to escape, it's just more of a flex because Jason couldn't get you. You can even let him grab you if you want. Throw him a couple of tea bags and be on the way. Moving on to the Jason gameplay. Oh no, this ain't the Jason gameplay. I didn't have a decent Tommy clip, so that red and white beacon there is the Tommy tower. That's how you know where Tommy's house is. Now inside here, on the left, pay attention, it zooms in right there. Boom. That's the radio. There's a prompt to hold on it that calls in Tommy. That allows this animation to happen. It gives you a chance to kill Jason. and if you're lucky enough to be Tommy, do not leave. I repeat, do not immediately run away. Your goal is to help the counselor survive, escape, or kill Jason. For the love of God, if you notice someone has the sweater, Jason's sweater, stay in the match. Okay, not stress this enough. Tommy can be called in if two people escape without anyone dying, or if two people die, one of the two dead will come back as Tommy. You get more XP for playing as Tommy. It's basically a second wind. Save people, help people like in this video. To kill Jason, I'm pretty sure I gotta defeat Jason coming up. I'll explain more on that later. As it comes up anyways. But yeah, just mess with Jason if you're Tommy, because he can't do nothing to you. Look, he grabs you, what's he gonna do? Boom. Pocket knifed and you're out of there. You're the last one out always. Easy survivals. Look, you got 1 of 8. Like, come on now. What kind of bullshit is that? But let's say you want to defeat Jason as Tommy. You got him. And you know that you can beat Jason. You're hunting for him. And you got 3 other people to help you. You get to the shack. Someone has the sweater. You do your extra damage to him, so beating him is easier. Get your XP. What you need is for his mask to be off, the sweater, and have a sharp object like the axe or a machete. Once they use the sweater, someone hits him in the back, he falls down, and your prompt comes up. Like so. Boom. It's pretty sick animation, so I'll just, well, I don't know if it was sick or not, but being Tommy is pretty cool. I'll tell you what. I never got to kill Jason before this moment, so. Man, it was badass. Just look at Jason. Granted, this Jason was a little bit newish. Anyway. So you got a propeller, you know where the boat is. Same deal as the vehicles. Get to the boat. Even if you cannot put it in, you can drop it right next to there by holding the down button. Because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna mess up and Jason's gonna be there. But then you need gas to fill the gas tank. It usually helps if you have an escort like I do here with the Vanessa. Get it back to the boat. Once you're at the boat, get it in or drop it off. And simply wait it out because Jason will be monitoring that boat for a while. Don't mess up the minigame. Oh. Disappointed. Pay attention for Jason's morph. You usually see him in the water because he knows when the boat starts and when the car starts and when you go into a shack. There's a lot of stuff he knows. Make sure you hop out when he's there, get back in when he's not and chasing someone else, and you have a high probability of getting out of there. I did this on Pinehurst, I believe it was. The exits are just straight up the middle and to the left or right. The left is quicker, so I took the left. And it's usually about here Jason gets you. See? He tried. He was already behind me though, he couldn't. Sail off into the sunset. Now we got the Barney Jason. Starting off, make sure you grab the pocket knives. Well, not the pocket knives, the throwing knives, excuse me. Because these will help you slow down the counselors, make them easier to grab, make them use up their med sprays. And always trap objectives. The most important one is the phone. If you're lucky enough to get a boat spawn in one vehicle, double trap the phone. You can do this by putting the first trap down and then going into combat stance on top of the trap that you just sat down and turn around facing forward in front of the phone box. Once you do that, you should be able to place another trap in front of the trap you just placed down. It's very simple, but only do that if it's a boat spawn, because even if they do get the boat, you're more than likely going to tip them out and drown them. So just let them repair the boat. Always trap your car objectives. That gives you a notification of where they are. Trapper is the notification. You can grab them like this and give them a big ol' hug. Man, that's awesome. Even if they do repair the phone box and you think it's about to be over, don't give up. Because you can still break the phone box and re-trap it, even if they repaired it. It's evil. But then, other objectives that you might want to consider after you've trapped everything and you got everyone under control is taking out the powers. This increases the counselor's fears and it disables the Tommy radio. Once you're in rage mode, you can walk through walls, doors, and your abilities come back even quicker. You got your 4 abilities, your first one being Sense, which allows you to see counselors in houses and their body lights up red. But once you're in the house, that goes away. So you don't know when you're in the house. You have to actually be there. And make sure you don't get hit by counselors, because they will stun you, let them swing and miss, go in for the grab, and get your free kill. We got a nice little heart punch here. There's Barney. Moving on. Shift is another ability that allows you to teleport through space. Well, like, not space, but like, you can manifest your character to be invisible, and then he just goes through at supersonic speed. And breaking windows is important, hitting them with knives as they're jumping through, and making sure that you know where they are, and using environment kills gives you more XP too. Nice little kill here. Stay on top of your objectives, and once you have rage, your abilities come back even quicker, and they're even better, allowing you to see much more further away and lasting much longer, coming back much quicker. You're just a beast. Once you have an idea of where they are, you morph is just a teleport to any location. Shift is move to any location. Stalker takes away their mini-map. And Sense shows you where they are. So that's your 4 abilities. Then once you find them, get them. Give him a big ol' hug for trying. And they had cops called there, as you saw, and I still won. 7-7. So yeah, I guess that pretty much covers it. There's a few small things. Subscribe, it's free. Leave a like. Drop a comment. And, yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video.